Hi, I'm so excited to share with you all this really awesome free online resource called FlipGrid. I discovered this, a colleague shared it with me in the spring, and I plan to continue using it, not only with virtual learning if need be, but in the classroom as well. I found that this is extremely engaging. Students loved it. Essentially, what FlipGrid is all about is you post a question or a topic by video, and students log in and post a video response. Their Chromebooks work beautifully with this. It doesn't require any unlocking from Mr. Dan. And the cool part too is they can comment on each other. So I found that when we were virtual, this really unlocked an opportunity for students to interact with each other, which was huge and of course really valuable to them. It was motivating, and therefore their work was higher quality than a lot of the written responses that I received from students. So to get started in FlipGrid, you're going to go to info.flipgrid.com. This is their main website page. If you have never been here before, you're going to hit Educator Sign Up, top right-hand corner, blue and white. It's going to walk you through creating an account. You put your email in, give yourself a username. You can sign in with Google if you so choose. It goes really, really quickly. Once you're in, you're going to begin to set up your grids. Basically, you could think of a grid as your class, okay? And within that, there's a way to organize certain things. So I have only one grid here. As you can see, I didn't need more. I wasn't ready for more in the spring for sure. You choose a little image and then give it a name. And we were Fab fourth graders. And then there is a student code. Mine was generated by FlipGrid. It's NOR 6915. Okay. This is what students will see when they go to try to log in. So after you get to that point, you're going to send an email to your students or put it on Google Classroom that says, yay, we're using something called FlipGrid. The website is flipgrid.com, and then give them that code. Okay. Flipgrid.com will take them to this site. Okay. And then they can click log in with Google. When they click that, it's going to ask for their class code. When you tell them, yay, we're using FlipGrid, here's the website, you'll give them this code right here, okay? And it will allow them then to join right away. They don't have to give out any personal information. They don't need to do anything more. Okay? From your teacher view, when we click that, it shows the student view of FlipGrid. So, and this got confusing for me every now and then. I'd be like, where are my features? And I would learn I was accidentally in the student view. And then you can't do very much from that view. Of course, you have to go to your teacher view. So here's what FlipGrid looks like as a student. You've created an account, your students have joined. This is what they see. Okay. And they see your posts. Okay. They call them topics. So I'm going to switch to one that had a little more. That was our last one, and it was the last day of school, and it did not get a ton of responses. Here's another one that I posted. Here's what it looks like to students. You choose your image. I always write out my directions because I feel like students might need to look at those and kind of almost check them off as you go. It says, what are the steps you need to simplify a fraction? Pretend you're the teacher. Teach your classmates how to simplify the fraction 15/40. Use vocabulary terms such as numerator, denominator, and greatest common factor. We're all in this together. Don't worry if your video is not perfect. Please do your best. The best you can do is your best. So students see that. They read the directions. I encourage my students to kind of practice, plan it out, maybe write a few notes. Then they add their responses by simply clicking this plus sign. When they click the plus sign, a screen that's very user-friendly pops up. Okay, right now I'm recording this for all of you, so it's saying your camera's busy, your microphone's busy. students would not see that. They would see like a selfie version of themselves. Okay, and they can, I encourage my students a lot of times to practice while they could see themselves so they're not weirded out. And then they would record their video. It's simply, they record, there's a clear pause or stop button when they're done. You're always given the opportunity to preview before you post. Okay, so they watch their video, they make sure they're happy with it, they're confident, feel good about it, and then they hit post. When they do that, it immediately becomes live. My students discovered, this is one that they made way like end of May. They discovered, as you can see, that they can be all fancy. Here's Elijah, he wanted to have like a spider web. They discovered they can add comments. As you can see, Bunny K, Kayla discovered you can add all kinds of fun filters and images and things there. I found they handled it well. You know, middle school and high school, you might want to set up some parameters in terms of like when those are appropriate and not, and actually elementary for that matter. But what I'm saying is they were all in fun and rated G, and they handled it well. Yeah. As a teacher, when you want to go to your teacher spot so you can see all videos and so you can comment, okay, you're going to go up here and click your name and go to educator login. To go back, just so we don't switch around too frequently, from this spot students can see their own video, and then obviously what they would do is they would click on each other's videos, okay, to listen to their video.
Hi, fabulous fourth graders. Today I want to model for you how to complete a different kind of a math assignment. We're practicing using
This was the first math FlipGrid I assigned, so I did put a model on. After students are watching each other, so pretend we're students, we're watching a student, this button here, reply, allows them to send a reply video back. This was fun. Again, it opened up lines of communications for students.
Hi,
I think I saw one up here I could share with you all. Yeah, so here's sweet Madigan, former student of mine. Here's Carson, another very sweet student.
Hey, Maddie, and I think you're doing really good. Keep it up.
He replied to her video and gave her feedback. Of course, we all know that means a ton to students, and they listen to each other and take it to heart. And would grow more than a comment from their teacher. So sometimes I made that a requirement, give a positive comment to someone. Sometimes I did not. Sometimes I said, give a positive comment and ask a question, and then they would have an ongoing dialogue, maybe about a novel we were reading. But again, to go to your teacher section now, right? And this, I'll show you how to create those topics. Go to educator login. You'll know you're here if you're confused and discombobulated, because at the top, the URL says admin.flipgrid. To access all of their work, you're going to click on your image for your grid. And here are all of the FlipGrids that I created in the fall. This is kind of like your main hub. To get to any of those, you would click in that section. Again, here's the directions so you can remind yourself, what did I assign? What is this assignment? And then all of your students' videos show below. Okay. It doesn't take long to view these. That's one of the great parts of FlipGrid. But there is a beautiful option also. I'll go back to Mad again, or Mad Dog.
Hi, Miss Nora. This is my FlipGrid for the one and only Ivan review.
So as a teacher,
and the person who wrote the book was Catherine Applegate.
I would listen to their hard work.
The main characters are Ivan, Julia, Stella, Ruby, Bob, and
okay, listen to Mad Dog.
One and only Ivan review. I hope you liked it. Bye.
Okay.
Hi, Miss.
Then off to the side, you have a lot of options for how to provide your students with feedback. This is beautiful because this was just a quick, like I asked students to give a review of a book that we had read and to share their opinion. Didn't want to use a rubric. There was no need for all the details, but I do want to give them feedback. So I can choose, and you can choose a video option, Or I would just quickly say like, Mad Dog, you did a very nice job. I would click the plus and say, Mad Dog, you did a really awesome job of including lots of details to back up your opinion about our novel. Thank you for working hard. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. So you know, this author wrote 6 other books. Google them and check them out. They might be great summer reads. And then you would click end. Okay. That then can go to Mad Dog in a couple of ways. That video, you can choose to email that video, and then students would just get an email saying your teacher has provided you feedback. Click and it would take them to the video. You can also provide a link, and that could go, I really used email more than anything. That could be provided in a separate email that you wrote if you wanted to write some feedback as well. If you do have an assignment that is more detailed, that maybe is a larger project that warrants a rubric, okay, you can edit a rubric. There are built-in rubric options from within, and this you would walk through, like add a rubric of your own is the add another attachment. You can add all kinds of features like smileys and emojis and stuff to your students. And then you would just put update topic if that's something that you choose to do. In honesty, I never did add a rubric. Was kind of muddling my way through in the spring and working through and didn't have a need for that, but it is an option. Okay. Other options that you have as a teacher from within would be this vibe is basically a comment that you can send to a student that all others will see. Like, you are a rock star, way to go. I sometimes would use that if students were slow to post and there were only like 3 by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'd be like, where is everybody? And I found it interesting that as I made public positives or public positive feedback public, other students seemed more encouraged to join in and reply. Really cool feature. You can click share, copy a link, and then send to parents a link to students' FlipGrids. So if a student rocked the house and you thought the parents would be so proud and enjoy seeing it, I would use this option, send an email to parents like, heads up, your child did an amazing job in their reading response today. Please check out this in video. I had even families thank me and say they shared that with grandparents and all kinds of different things, just because I think it's a different approach to an assignment and they wanted to see that. You can make students' videos a featured response, which then kind of shows up on the page all fancy and encourages other students to learn from each other and watch that. So it's kind of like a heads up, check this out. So-and-so did an awesome job. Use this as a model. You can spark a video, which basically then puts that video at the top of the page and further highlights it as being an exceptional work. Okay, so we've gone over how to create an account. What does it look like to students? How do you give feedback? But we have not done the most important part yet, and it's how do you create a topic or a question or an assignment? Back from your main page. Okay, again, this is where we find all of previous topics and all of students' work. You're going to click on this button that says Add New Topic. This reminds me of YouTube a little bit. Give it a topic like reading response. Nah, let's do something fun. Best beverage for summer. Okay, please think about the beverages you have enjoyed this summer. Share your fave. Don't forget to include ingredients. You can determine the amount of time students have to record and it will cut them off. They can see that as a progress bar. So students wouldn't be in the middle of a recording and then get cut off. You'll see them speed up as the time is running out. That's a great feature if you have a group of students who like to go on and on. Tons of options. You can give them a crazy long amount of time too if it is something that does require more thought. I chose this option. There is a video moderation, which essentially means when you click this toggle, their videos will not go live immediately. This is to be sure you're being cautious so that should it say something inappropriate, should it give a put down to someone else, language, what have you, you're worried about background noise, you get an email, which is a lot depending on how many students you have, and you have to approve before it posts. If you use this option, you want to tell students, otherwise they'll immediately go to look for their video and feel like it didn't work and keep recreating it. You'll want to just say, hey, I will always approve your videos. It will take a little while before you see it live. Just have confidence in knowing after you submit, you're set. Like I said, I liked this option. If you do not click it, it will immediately post as soon as they are done. Then you click an image. I just stuck with my general headshot. Upload image would allow you to choose images from your computer or Facebook. I never did any of these, but as you can see, there's a whole ton of options. You could add an emoji. Okay. I'll show you where it goes. So let's just quickly pick an emoji. Yeah. Okay. Then I hit create topic. You could copy this and then use that URL to share with your students. There is an option to immediately share with Google Classroom. So if we wanted to put this as an assignment immediately in Google Classroom, you choose which classroom you'd like to add it to. Here's our Get Techie. And then you'd click all set. And that is immediately live on your then Google Classroom, a link that says like, oh, you have a new assignment. So let's see. Oh yeah, I set that up, okay. Knowing we were gonna do this, I didn't want you all to get an alert at home, so you're not gonna see it, darn. But it would show up right away in your assignment section. Down here, it's titled FlipGrid, and then whatever you titled your FlipGrid would be there, but I forgot that I set that setting, I apologize. We don't see it, but I promise you that's how it works. They know they have it, you're set and ready to rock. Going back to our FlipGrid, as students began posting their FlipGrids, you see them appear, they can see one another's, again, like I said, unless you choose to have it blocked until you approve. Hope you found this helpful as we work this afternoon. I'd be really happy to answer questions. It's really user-friendly, both for you as the educator and for your students. And like I said, they really had a blast and a good time with it. I envision myself using this if we have the opportunity to be in person in the classroom. I envision myself using this for all kinds of things, like you saw students modeling how to solve a math problem, students recording responses about their reading for the day. You could use this as an exit ticket option, like, hey, what did you learn about force and motion today in science? I like giving more parameters, like include one new vocabulary word, otherwise they'll just, come on and do the whole like, I learned a ton today, it was awesome, and then be done with their video. So the more detailed you are in your topic or assignment description, I've found the more meat and the higher quality your student videos will be. But hope you enjoyed it. I'll, like I said, Mrs. Goff, Patty, and I will help you this afternoon to create a FlipGrid for yourself and to think through how you want to use FlipGrid in your classroom. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much.